Hello, it's Stewart A. Swerdlow.
And Diane Mourglia-Swerdlow.
For the news podcast for the end of September 2012. And some very interesting news. Why don't you go first?
Want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you to go first because mine will be more impactful.
And yours is better, I bet.
I don't want to say anything,
okay.
that's true.
That's what I figured. Okay, well anyway. All right, well, I'll start. Well, first of all, I want to tell you there have been so many trigger things that are going on in the news right now. You must be sure to use your protection, your brown merger symbol, do your basic deprogramming techniques, because what I'm going to tell you here, just 4 or 5 things, is enough to make a lot of you basically turn into zombies, amongst other things.
There's no breast or semen stories in this one.
Did you want me to make some up?
Because I got used to it after all those weeks.
Well, there's not quite like that, but some borderline.
Good, it's a clean news podcast today. No censoring.
Anyway, the first thing I want to tell you about is zombie bees. Yes, zombie bees, believe it or not.
Zombie bees.
Zombie bees.
Why do they just call them zombies?
I don't know, but zombie bees. Like I said, I want you to have that extra imprinting with the bees part. Anyway, it's an infection that are now affecting the bees, and they have moved into Washington State.
A zombie infection?
Yeah, they're a parasite that causes the bees to fly at night and lurch around erratically until they die.
I know people that do that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
It's programming, it's triggering stuff. Okay, then we have now pregnant women as models in bikinis. Now, when of course I was pregnant with my 2 children, we as females covered our body. Now it has become the norm to expose the pregnant belly, whether it's on the magazine cover.
It seems they're exposing more than that.
Well, they are, but it was interesting when I looked at the pictures, to me the pregnant belly, the womb, actually looked just like an egg. And of course, what is pregnancy? You know, that is a newborn, just like in hyperspace, where we talk about the symbol of the egg. It has to do with fertility rights. So that's really what they're doing, is they're working on fertility rights by parading these models down with basically very little other than their belly showing.
Okay.
So, you know, just watch the signs again. Then we have Sarah Palin. Now,
we have to have Sarah?
We have to have Sarah Palin today, because Sarah Palin's using 2 trigger phrases I want you to be particularly mindful of. One, she's telling Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan that they need to go rogue.
Does that mean she wants them nude?
Well, what does rogue mean?
Wild.
Wild. So she's telling people, go rogue, go wild. She's giving you code words. Okay, then she's saying America needs, can you read?
Come to Jesus.
Yeah, America needs a come to Jesus moment.
I tell people they need to go to see Jesus.
Well, for now, but these are both 2 trigger phrases that she's using specifically. And I can guarantee it, you're going to hear this more. This is just the beginning of this. Now then, the next trigger word, which again, this has to do with the Muslim film, which we talked about last time. They've got when they first were writing about that, about Islam, they're saying that they're explaining the multiple personalities of the Fury. This was used in this particular article. So,
what does that mean, of the Fury?
Well, what is Fury? You know, Fury, of course, is anger. So multiple personalities are working on bringing those out. And they're, again, remember what I told you, they're finding places to insert these trigger phrases to bring this out in people. So, I mean, this is filled with programming triggers this week. That was the main programming. There are others out there, but these are the key ones I want you to watch for. Then just a couple other stories I thought you would find interesting. One, we had talked not too long ago about a doctor that wanted sugar banned in the U.S. Now remember, I already told you about New York City, where they're banning sugary drinks because over a certain size. And of course the idea is eventually to control our food supply. So we've already been imprinted, let's ban sugar. The next thing, believe it or not, they want to ban butter. Butter, because they think that's contributing to obesity. Well, hopefully those of you who read our site and know our information know that you need good healthy fats to support your cellular integrity, and especially your brain and your nervous system.
So they want people to use margarine instead?
Yes.
A petroleum product?
Yes. Which of course is natural to the human body.
So much more sense,
of
right?
course.
Drink oil from the ground,
right,
instead of using butter.
Right. So that's what. So just listen to these imprints. You know, first people say, like we told you before, all the time. Maybe sounds a little ridiculous in the beginning, but it's what they're planning for you. And the last story I want to tell you about is a cruise ship virus vaccine.
I was wondering.
Now, when the flu vaccines were going around here 2 or 3 years ago, they were actually here in the U.S. They were in the airports trying to get travelers
Free shots.
Free shots to take your flu vaccine. Well, of course, not a lot of people did that. Now they're giving you a reason if you're in the airport or anywhere else, because on a cruise ship they can get 2,000 to 3,000 people at a time. So what do? First of all, they get people on cruise ships ill. So that's been through the news for the last few years. Now, lo and behold, they have an investigational vaccine, they're calling it, that targets the virus that spoils cruise ship vacations, quote, and sends college kids to the hospital. This is now that they're calling it safe, and it has prompted, quote, again, large and rapid immune responses in a phase 1 clinical study. So, of course, people are going to rush to get this particular vaccine.
Yeah.
So
as you're walking up the plane to the ship, they subject you.
Yeah. In fact, last time we were on a cruise, remember they had that antibacterial, and they were singing little jingles to get people to do it, and that antibacterial stuff is bad, bad, bad news. But if they sing and make it seem happy, everybody was doing it, and they looked strange at us because we didn't do it.
It reminds me of a time I went to Sri Lanka, and the plane landed in Sri Lanka, and they sprayed us because they wanted to kill bacteria. It's like, shouldn't I be spraying you? It's Sri Lanka, hello. Like, I'm clean, I'm going to spray you.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so that's the end of my dull and boring stories.
So it's my turn now?
It's your turn to tell the interesting
so
story.
please get out of my
Oh, I don't think
All right,
so.
so anyway, as far my story, 2 important stories before we have a very special guest that we're going to bring to you. One interesting story is what's happening now in East Asia, which is kind of connected to my special guest. Yesterday, Taiwan sent ships into a disputed island area in the Chinese Sea, and they were fired upon by Japanese Navy sending warning shots, and the Chinese also were sending warning shots. So we have Taiwan, Japan, and China going to this possibly edge of war over these little tiny islands the size of a pebble. So what does that remind you of? Kind of brings everything back to World War II or pre-World War II conditions when all of these countries were at war with each other. So keep a special eye on East Asia because something's going on between Japan, Taiwan, and China, which could escalate into something very dangerous. And of course, Japan and Russia are also at odds over little tiny islands north of the Hokkaido Island. So
now let me throw something out at you. What about, and I've seen this all over the internet now, they're saying that the U.S. and China are doing joint war exercises in the Pacific Ocean along with California because supposedly there is a terrorist threat for UFOs. So let's address that because we keep getting, people are writing and writing and writing to us. So
the story goes that China is obligated to help the United States off the coast of California fight UFOs because the U.S. Navy is too involved in the Gulf area. But you know what? China really don't give a damn if UFOs attack the United States. So that whole story is full of baloney, okay? They're not under no obligation to help us whatsoever. But there was another story. Oh yeah, you saw this morning about Russian troops in the U.S. Now, she said to me, look, there's a story on AOL, Huffington Post, about Russian troops in the United States training. Now, I've heard that for 30 years, but Huffington Post created this article as if it was the beginning. That could never happen before. I've heard this since the 1980s. So only now it's becoming public. But one more story that I want to, since we're on UFOs, there was a meeting at the National Atomic Testing Museum this weekend in Las Vegas, and the title of the program they had was Military UFOs Secrets Revealed.
Now I want to also remind you that while he was away, that I did talk to you about this meeting was upcoming the first part of the month. So now we have finally what they're telling you.
Now keep in mind, all the speakers at this meeting were U.S. Air Force, military, not private investigators. This is U.S. Air Force, who stated, as far as the Bentwaters incident in Britain in 1980, this Air Force colonel said that UFOs were either extraterrestrial or, this is important, extra-dimensional in origin. This is the first time that an official explanation of visitors from other dimensions or parallel universes was mentioned officially. This colonel also says, and I'm going to quote here, he says, folks, there is an agency, a very close-held, compartmentalized agency that's been investigating this for years, and there's a very active role played by many of our intelligence agencies that probably don't even know the details of what happens once they collect the data and forward it. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Yes, it is very scary. And according to this Air Force Colonel Bob Friend, that's his name, Bob Friend, that's interesting.
Sounds like a real name.
Now listen to what he says, quote, "UFO sightings are real, and you will not be ridiculed by any honest organization that investigates it. Just come forward, quote your case, and allow people to investigate what they can to make some determination about what it is that you've seen. In the future, just remember, we're on your side."
He's your friend.
Yeah, so he wants you to go to official government military agencies to report your sightings because, he says, the UFO subject is a field which does have its share of crackpots and charlatans and cultists. What you have this evening in a field like this, in this panel of people who indisputably and genuinely have done this for the government and the military. So basically he's saying, don't go to these crackpot private investigators, the private organizations that research UFOs, only go to the government and they will explain and help you with what you see. So isn't that interesting now? And finally, to summarize, he says, and this is what he told the audience, the UFOs are real and is a global phenomenon, not something that just happens in the US. So what we're seeing in preparation for the stage alien invasion is when you see something, don't go to an investigator, call the government.
Well, because they want to, again, monitor and control what it is you're seeing and how you're seeing and what they put it out. They want to control every aspect of your life and every experience that you have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now that we're done with the news, and thank you for letting me.
So whose story do you think was really most interesting?
I think mine was probably more interesting than the ones you had. I think it was
well, I'm sure they'll write in and tell us.
Yeah, I think it was a little more interesting. But that's okay. But
what's coming next is probably even more interesting, right?
We are so fortunate because with us today is the owner and creator of White Dragon Products. Let's go see what she has in store for us.
All right.
Hello again, everybody. We have a very special guest today here at Expansions. I want to introduce to you Winnie Liw, the owner and creator of White Dragon Healthcare Products.
And she's the reason why you look so beautiful, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I look beautiful anyway, but she made me look exceptionally beautiful. Yeah. Welcome, Winnie.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
It's a thrill. It's my first time actually meeting her. She and I have communicated via email and a billion other ways for so many years. And to have her here in the U.S. is really a thrill for us.
Yeah, so what do you have for us today?
Well, actually, maybe I could just introduce a little bit on our products.
Yeah, I would love that.
We basically have 12 items for a start. We have our body care, which is our shampoo, shower, cleansing milk, and our hand cream. That is for body care. And we have skincare on 13 products, which is, we would start with the scrub, facial scrub. We have a day cream, we have an eye cream, night cream, and toner. So toner, basically we have 3 different kinds of toner. What you're seeing is a rose toner where we will have our chamomile toner and also lavender toner. The latest product that we have just launched, which is our lip gloss, and we name it as Lip Love. So basically these products are meant to take care of our skin complexion from inside out. And they are made of Chinese herbs together with vitamins and plant extracts. So it is actually healing from the bottom layer of our skin, and it will regenerate our cells, rejuvenate our energies, and it basically will help to promote skin complexion to be soft, tender, and look beautiful naturally. So if you look at the complexion of Stewart and Janet and the hair that they have, you will know that this product actually
Yeah, the hair that I have left.
But see, I got all your extra hair.
It all went over to her. Yeah. But Winnie, I understand these products are so pure and organic you can actually eat them.
Yes, they're edible, but we will not encourage you.
Because you could like take a bath and have lunch at the same time.
Well, or if you're on the airplane, for instance, and you're hungry and they weren't giving you enough food, you could eat your lip gloss.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Lip gloss is 100% edible.
Yeah,
lip gloss 100%.
And what's interesting, too, is that before we get to how wonderful these are, exactly the way you came across, developing your line. Like where did you get your recipes, and how did that come into being? To me, that's fascinating.
Okay, it is by chance, by a rare opportunity. I was in Hong Kong, and I was approached by a group of professors who has been inventing and creating this line of products. And their main intention is they wanted this line of products to be promoted globally and not just housed within Hong Kong and China.
So originally it was only for the Chinese upper
only for the
levels.
Chinese elite people in China, yeah.
And then these professors have worked on these formulas, I'm assuming, for what, decades?
For very long.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
And they came from ancient formulas.
Yes, all the formulas are ancient formulas.
Yeah.
And in fact, some of the products are strictly for the elite, like in the olden days for
Right.
those emperors to
Right.
use it. Like for example, the day cream, because it's actually made of a lot of roses. And actually for the rose toner, it's made of tons and tons and thousands of roses
Really?
through the distillation
Wow.
process. So in the ancient time, the emperors actually use it for bathing.
Really?
To soak into it so that the
Really?
complexion
Oh, I love
looks
that.
very
Wow.
wonderful.
Wow.
I would like to bathe in that rose toner.
I wonder if they put vodka in it.
No, there's no, it's
That
not
preserves
alcohol.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have personally used each and every one of these, and this is really nice. Is it okay if I open it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is this is Inner Beauty Facial Scrub. And this takes like a chocolate chip size, a very, very small amount. And it is just, to touch it, it feels so wonderful. It just, we're actually going to be having some of these products on display for those people who are fortunate enough to be at our seminar this weekend. But anyway, it's very pure. I mean, and you just takes a little bit and you put it over your face, and it starts to stimulate the blood flow under the skin and helps to bring out the pores. It's amazing, amazing product, and it feels good and smells nice.
Right, and this product, it should be used every 28-day cycle because our skin cells grow.
Yeah.
Our skin tissue grows, so it will be applicable like every 28 days. You just do a very
So it's like a
thorough
moon
scrub.
cycle. So actually,
That's
is
interesting.
that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course we both use the eye cream. Well, and that it goes just around the little fine lines here,
Just around.
and it also it's a little bit different looking, but it's very beautiful. And like I said, when you touch these or smell these, you can tell the quality
It's amazing.
and the
really.
frequency that is in here. Yes, like she's talking about the pure roses and what. It's the frequency that is here and that you then put onto your skin for the regeneration. Is just absolutely incredible. Now, I want to talk about these before I get into a little bit of other things, but now this one I love too. This is actually a vitamin C cream, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
I've seen
face
that
wash.
one.
Yeah.
It's a
you
face
used
wash.
it, my dear.
I did?
You did. We all.
Does it wipe memory?
No, it doesn't.
This I use every day.
Yeah.
I love this one, and this one you use. When I first got it, I thought, because it's so wonderful, I thought it was like a moisturizer. But no, it's what you put on to take your makeup off with.
Right.
And then you let it sit on your face for a few minutes and you take that off. And the way it leaves your skin is perfect. I mean, who would think of putting vitamin C externally and absorbing through your cells? I'd like to take a bath in that one too.
Oh, that will make your whole body look
know.
very clear.
I know. But then I would have to, do a podcast, and I wouldn't want to.
You should do a podcast covered in it. That's what you
I
should.
wouldn't do that. And now the shampoo. Now this one I had a little. I said to Winnie, "Where's the conditioner?" Because in the U.S., if we buy a shampoo, we buy a conditioner. And what did you say?
No, it does not. You don't require a conditioner.
No.
It's 2-in-1. It comes with it.
Yeah, it's an amazing product, and the bottle lasts forever. And I know I have had friends going off to college, young men and young women. I've purchased some of these products for them because while they're away at college, it helps make them feel good. It gives them a high frequency. It repairs and cleans.
And isn't it true if you use this for a long period of time, restores a natural color to your
Yes,
hair?
it will.
Yeah.
It will help.
It will also delay growing of grey hairs.
Ah,
Yeah.
great. I'm gonna keep
I
on
should
my
have had
head
that
all
a while. And now the shower silk is also, I've heard this is some people's favorite.
the time. I know, I love it.
Yeah, and also some people, if their hair is thinner, they've even told me they use this for shampoo instead of that.
Really?
But I think maybe if they use that, maybe their hair would be a little bit fuller. What do you think?
Oh, actually the shampoo, after using it, actually the hair grows more.
Yeah.
Ah.
That happens to me personally,
Yeah.
and it really makes the hair look more bouncy.
Yeah.
And even if you do whatever color treatment,
Right.
after using the shampoo, your hair still looks very soft and very bouncy. It looks very good.
Sometimes my head gets bouncy.
Okay.
Now this one I have to tell. I'm going to tell them what
I
I do.
know, yeah.
Yeah, you yelled at me for this, but I don't care.
Well, I love that product.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great. This is a hand cream for hand and feet, and you know if you have the tendency to get calluses on your ankles or your hands get dry, you use this cream, and I love this cream. It's very thick and it's very rich. And here in Michigan, where we have very dry winters, very hard, I put on my face. She goes, no, don't put that on your face. I said, yes, I put that on my face. So, especially in the harsh winds and the cold and the snow. So, I'm sorry. But I do use this one on my face as well as my hands and feet. So this one is one of my, I mean, they're all my personal favorites. It would be hard to choose if I had to say. And you were telling me your favorite is really the toner. You like the toner.
Yeah, not that I really need,
No,
you know, because I have my faces so, but you know, seriously,
No,
quite
you
honestly.
maintain.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, and I tell people how old I am, they think either I'm a vampire or that I use some kind of amazing product. And so I tell them that I use these products, and that they say, oh, your skin looks so good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they usually say to you, when will you turn 50?
Yeah, and I tell them a long time ago. I'm like, no, I can't believe it.
Yeah, he's actually 120.
At
You can
least.
see what the products have done for him.
That's what I admit to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
wonderful.
yeah, it is, and these are fabulous. And of course, everything we sell are products that we believe in. And we use them, and we try
Every
them
day,
out. And
every
before
day.
these were made available to the public, we actually used them for a couple of years.
Right.
And
Yeah,
testing.
And I thought it was absolutely amazing when you showed me these
Yeah.
products, and when I was in Hong Kong and Shanghai.
Yes.
We went to Shanghai and talked
Yeah.
about it. And may I talk about White Dragon itself, the
Yes.
image of White Dragon? Why is the name White Dragon? White Dragon is the highest frequency. It's like white-winged lion, white-winged dragon. The two go together. But if you have watched my True World History information, you know that the very first iteration from the God mind was white-winged dragon. And so it is a very benevolent, high-level energy, and it is embodied in Winnie. And that's why she has been taken in charge of this by the elite of China. And so I'm just absolutely amazed to be in your presence.
It's true, it's a
Me
privilege.
too.
It is a privilege. And because we represent the white-winged lion frequency and here at Expansions, it is a perfect blend of frequencies to bring out the totality of
Absolutely.
the human nature
Absolutely.
itself. So by utilizing these, and remember, I have a podcast coming up. I hope all of you will join me on that. I have talked a lot about frequency. My podcast, or not my podcast, my webinar, I'm sorry. My webinar, which is interactive, is going to be talking specifically about frequency and what that means, because frequency is what the Illuminati has used against you since before you can remember. Frequency is what we use in a positive way to enhance and uplift and elevate your lifestyle. So what we are doing is we are collaborating and joining frequencies together. And the white-winged lion and the white-winged dragon have to do with overcoming the struggle of human
They're
nature.
two sides of the same God-mind
Yes.
energy.
And actually,
both go together.
yes, I haven't even told you this yet,
Oh my.
but in February we are planning a webinar.
We are.
We are, which is going to be addressing those frequencies specifically.
Uh-huh.
We have them in our True World History. We have them. We have them also on the templates that we offer to people, which has directions on the back. But we're actually going to be instructing you personally through our webinar. I think it's February that one is coming up.
Interesting.
I want
Why
it to
be
be
here?
maybe, but I want it to be when we're deep into the winter months, because that's when we use that deep winter energy to internalize and bring it out. But all of these do help you in the struggle, because the frequency is imbued in here, and again via Winnie and her contacts, which are very, very ancient, and her genetics, which
She isn't ancient.
she's 1,000. You see how wonderful
Well,
the
actually,
products
her
are
soul
for her?
personality is ancient.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she's 1,000. You see, she's used this and she's
Yeah,
eaten
yeah,
it and all kinds of.
And Winnie herself is like 103.
That's what I just said, she's 1,000.
And look how young she looks.
Just like she's 1,000.
Oh, it's
You're
really nice that
120.
she's not nice that way.
If she is, she looks like she's 25.
She
So
is.
they
She's
work.
very youthful.
So Winnie, why did you choose the colors? Tell us about that.
Oh, right. Actually, these colors were, before the products was actually born, or so-called created, I've consulted Stewart, and Stewart has given me this whole range of colors, and of course this color falls under the color therapy color charge. So that's why we will have medium green, we use medium green, we use ice blue, we use royal blue, we use violet, and we use brown. Which all these colors you could find it in the color charge, which is meant for chakra spinning. So the reason why we use ice blue for eyes, for the face, because it's around the region from the neck to the nose. And royal blue is always for us to use for spinning around the eye area. That's why we use the royal blue. And brown is basically is a crown on our head. So we wanted to have a grounding feeling, so we use a brown color. And green is on a healing, is a healing color, so we use it for hand and feet cream.
Yeah, wonderful.
And for lip love, plus it's a lip gloss, it's a new product which will be eventually fall under makeup range, which we are looking into it. So we started a new color, it's something like a bronze color. So actually the packaging, would you mind?
Sure.
Actually for the packaging, we have specially selected the colors, the font, the colors of the wording. So at different angle you will see a different light. It actually changes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Amazing.
It changes.
Very interesting.
So even just holding the package, let's say you want to put this in your purse or whatever, it's going to, or in your pocket if you're a man, it's going to have an effect then, and that frequency of color is going to.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, and also I want to mention she has a beautiful brochure. And again, those of you who are lucky enough to be at our conference this weekend will be able to visit with Winnie personally. She's going to be attending and discussing these with you. We will have samples for you to look at, touch, feel, smell, feel the frequency. And you can do it via the website, so I don't want to discourage you. It's just if you're here, it's an extra special opportunity.
I also want to ask, what are your future plans? What are future products that we might see?
The products that are in the pipeline, we will have spa treatment products, which we have very amazing bus cream, which is very effective, and it only made of 3 ingredients.
Wow.
And
Can you tell us what those are? Is that a secret?
And after using just for like, I'll tell you when it is.
Okay. Darn. I have to wait.
And you just need to use for 50 ml, you will see the results immediately.
Really? Oh,
Just 50
Wow.
ml, which is very wonderful.
Do we have a timeline on that, or you don't want to say because you never know about how packaging and all this stuff
Yeah,
works
that's
out?
right. We may be looking at next year,
2013?
Yeah,
Okay.
2013. And we also have men's range, which is 3 items, which it is good for busy businessmen, executives who move around. They can just carry around because it will be in a smaller sizes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And we have a face wash and a shower and a hair in one.
Oh,
in
excellent.
Wow.
Wow.
Shower and hair in one.
And you'll have it in the 100 ml size
It
that
will
I
be
can put on
like
my carry-on.
100 or maybe 50.
Make 100 ml for me.
Because it has long trips.
Yeah.
Because due to the natural ingredient, we have to use glasses. If you realize they're all frosted glass, which is heavy.
That's okay,
So,
but they don't break.
yeah, they don't.
Because I have dropped them occasionally and they don't break.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't. Because they are very good quality glass.
Excellent.
And what about like this will be in glass too for travel, or?
Yeah, it will still be in a special plastic. We call it as a PE plastic. We do not use any other form of plastic due to the Chinese herbs.
Okay.
And because there is no chemical preservatives, there's no preservatives.
Right.
So basically, we do not want the quality to be compromised.
I
So
see.
we are very particular with all the packaging
Good.
throughout the whole process of manufacturing this range of products for everybody.
Excellent.
And this now, will you have this smaller for travel? Because I take it when I travel, not that I go as much as Stuart, but I have to pump it into smaller bottles to take with me.
We will look into that in the future. Yeah.
Or even if
travel
you-
sizes.
Yeah,
You
or even a
could
bottle.
actually call it Stewart size.
Yeah, sure.
But you know, even if you got a travel bottle that maybe would go with these, and then we could pump it in, because like you said, this is special to preserve what you have in here, the herbs and things. So if we could have a special travel bottle that went with it and pump it in and refill it ourselves. Because I have to get to something, you know, from the dime store, and I don't like to put such a beautiful product in there, which is what I have to do because I don't want to use any other shampoo anywhere anymore. I'm so spoiled with this.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and like I said, it's great for the men. It's great for
Everybody.
everybody,
Yes.
any age, older people that have sometimes very delicate, sensitive skin.
Even babies can use it.
Babies,
Yeah, children.
yeah, and you know, it's just and like I said, gifts I do, and the holidays are coming up.
Oh,
So if you
yes.
want something extra special for that person, that's a challenge to buy for. These are fabulous.
Maybe I need to add on one thing for the liquid love.
Yes.
We do have feedback from regular customers who are using it. It is good for shaving for men.
Not that I would do that.
You know,
Yeah, I know you would.
Let me tell you, it's good for shaving for women too. Because I use that. I have to tell all my personal secrets here.
Well, you've told so much on the podcast already.
What's the difference, right? One more thing.
Yeah.
I use it for shaving. Yes, I have no beard. That's easy.
I took her beard, she took my hair.
How can I
That's what
say?
happened.
Oh dear. Well, anything else that we need to know?
Should we share about the concept?
Sure, why not?
Now, the reason why we have launched this range of products, there is actually a concept behind the whole thing. It's a totality, pure and natural concept. And this concept actually embedded with a range of products that we've just shared by Stewart and Janet. And follow through is on education, which is the expertise from Janet and Stewart and Janet, which is on the color treatment therapy. And that will help every one of us to be aware of how to use the color treatment to balance our lifestyle and bring us to another dimension, which living pure and natural environment. And that, of course, will take care of our body, mind, and soul. So the products are on body, so mind and soul will be on the color treatment therapy, and then we will reinforce on the whole concept by storybooks that is written by Stewart, and we can put into animations, entertainment, and we have DVD games, and we will finally reinforce the whole concept with the home and lifestyle products, which you'll be seeing like tablecloth, bed sheets,
so excited.
Oh, that sounds
I
fabulous.
can't wait.
kids' clothing,
Yes.
everything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Excellent, excellent.
So it will be from head to toe, and we basically take care of everything.
Yes.
So these are all the projects that we have in mind.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That will be together with expansion.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we're very excited about
Very
all the
excited.
things that are
Right, yeah.
coming up. We always, we have perfect people. I will tell you, our the people that we're involved with now are just so
Superb.
supportive. Superb. We can't even say enough good things.
Everybody.
We have wonderful, wonderful people around us. So I'm so happy that you have made this journey to the U.S.
Yes.
to join us for our 10th annual conference. Actually, Expansions has been around for over 20 years.
Yes.
But this is actually our 10th conference.
And that's doing the beginning frequency.
Yes.
So it's perfect that you're here.
Yeah, and of course we're going to be debuting. You'll be able to see the Montauk Chronicles. We have the professor from Bosnia coming to share about the pyramids.
We have Deborah playing
We have
piano.
Deborah Wyndham, the concert
Excellent.
pianist. We have so much to offer, and people from all over the world are coming. And they are going to be fortunate to meet you in person and partake of your frequency while you're here. Because at the end, if you can't meet her personally, like I said, the products are online. They're beautiful. They're pure. They are edible, although, you know, unless you're really stuck somewhere.
You really
No,
can.
we would not encourage that.
It's a shampoo and a salad dressing.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it's our pleasure. So thank you so much for coming this distance to share with us and to really give people the idea behind this so that we can continue to move forward in the way we all envision.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Winnie, for coming. And so that's it for this podcast. I can't wait to turn the camera off and slather my body with all of it. And we'll see you next time on expansions.com.
Bye-bye.